Shut up and sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated Superstar Team Zen. We're going to go over Raw this week. Was in Toledo, Ohio. But before we do, well, first things first, we talked about it at the end of last week's episode. We are doing a contest. If we can break 300, just like the infamous Spartans, if we break 300 before SummerSlam, easy enough. This is all you have to do. Subscribe to the channel, take a screenshot, show me that you did on my Twitter at TimVicious, and I will personally, out of my own pocket, purchase a shirt from the Vicious Rant store at whatamaneuver.net. All you have to do, subscribe to the channel, take a snapshot, show me on Twitter at TimVicious you did, and I will pick one random winner, and I will mail it out to you myself. So not only am I paying for the shirt, I'm also paying for your postage. That's it. And like I've said before, these shirts, super comfortable, really enjoyable. Perfect shirt for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or someone to give to Goodwill. It's your call. But you can't experience it unless you sub to the channel. So, you want one free? All you gotta do, easy enough. That's the best way to go and do it. And it costs absolutely nothing, folks. So, what have you got to lose? You have nothing to lose, and you have the potential to get a free shirt out of the deal. So, yeah. Now, with that said, also, NXT Battleground was this past week as well, and it was interesting. It was a great show. It was in the UFC Apex, or for lack of a better term, the UFC Performance Center, but it was different. It was different because while it was big and it was packed, at the same time, the area that the wrestlers performed in just felt a little more condensed, so to say. Hands down, the two matches I looked most forward to was Jordynne Grace, Roxanne Perez. I thoroughly enjoyed it, as well as seeing All Ego Ethan Page going against Trick Williams. If you have not seen it, go on Peacock, look up NXT Battleground and watch it. Chances are we're probably going to be getting a lot more, not chances are, definitely, we are definitely going to be getting way more UFC, WWE, peanut butter and chocolate going together like that kind of stuff down the road. So, now that we've done talking about that, let's switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. The show started out with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline out in the ring, and Solo officially anointing Tanga Loa as part of the Bloodline, as well as officially dubbing Tama Tonga as the right-hand man of the Tribal Chief, which I'm sure you all know on how that should go. Well, given that Jay was at one point the right-hand man, so yeah. Now, Mein Savior, Paul Heyman, was the one to officially anoint Tama Tonga as the new right-hand man. And then after all that was done, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to wish you all good night. And whoa, wise man. Hold up. I believe there's some other business that needs to be attended to. Did Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa not save you last week from Kevin Owens. If anything, I think that you owe them a thank you. Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you so much. And God bless, Paul has got this rolled down to a T. He's got that I'm blinking as a code of I'm in danger type character down to a T. You know, like help me, I'm being held against my will type bit. So beautiful. So yeah, anyways, as that's going on, next thing you know, Kevin Owens eventually comes out, then Owens charges into the ring, goes after Tama Tonga. It eventually becomes a 3-on-1 beatdown, then bing bang boom, Street Profits come out, save the day, even out the numbers. We get a 6-man tag match later on in the show. That's the main event match. Fast forward to that match. It's going decent. It ends in a no contest when Solo gets a chair, cracks it over Owens. Ref calls for a no contest. It ends in a beatdown where all the baby faces are beaten down and the Bloodline stands tall. And I know a lot of people are saying this version of the Bloodline sucks. This sucks. The story's dead now. This, that, and the other. Blah 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 blah. Listen. While this may not be peak like it was when Roman was running on God mode, however, all good stories have peaks and valleys, ups and downs. You can't just constantly be on that super high anticipation high like you're on a roller coaster waiting for that eventual drop. Now we're at that drop. So now we got to build back up, because honestly, as much as it, say this the right way, it may not be what we all want, but this is going to make Roman's return, when he does come back, so much sweeter. That's the gospel truth right there. So yeah. We also had Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair doing a tag match against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And while this may not have been one of Jade and Bianca's best, it definitely is. It was decent enough. And, Jade, she's putting in the work. You're not going to get the repetition like she needs to be at that top performer level. And I'm not saying she's not a top superstar, because she is. But you want to get at a top performer level where you're comfortable in the ring. Well, you're not going to get there unless you do repetition after repetition after repetition. And you do repetitions, you're going to wind up having some stinkers every now and then. It's not saying that this is a stinker, but I'm saying you're going to have matches that aren't super high caliber all the time. So yeah. Also had Johnny Gargano going against Grayson Waller, which I dug, and I absolutely love the fact that the commentating team wound up even saying this is a callback to a match that they had in NXT where Waller actually beat up Johnny in front of Johnny's house, on Johnny's front lawn, in front of his kid. So I thought that was cool. Just that little nugget just really made the match for me. Waller got the win on that, by the way. I'm sorry, but I was just so caught up on that, I almost forgot to talk about who won that match. Now, we also had a segment where Cody, he was waiting in the parking lot for AJ because of last week. When AJ eventually does show up, he's got the Good Brothers hoop. And as much as Cody wants to go and fight right then and there, Nick Aldis and security, no, we're not doing that. Take it out there. Talking about at the arena. So they get out to the arena. Cody calls out AJ. AJ comes out. AJ basically sums it up and says, listen, you got what I want. So give me a WWE title match. I want a title match. And I want a title match at Clash at the Castle. That simple. Cody, alright, fine. Fine. You want a title match? That's the only way I'm going to get you? Think you got it. You got a title match. But it's going to be under my conditions. So it's going to be you and me in an I Quit match. Okay, I'm definitely all for that. I'm cool with an I Quit match. I like I Quit matches. Yep, so then we had L.A. Knight. Yeah! Dummy. Yeah, let me talk to you. Going up against Carmelo Hayes, who, honestly, as much as I love Melo, he is, to me personally, just me personally, it feels like the whole bragging about being the number one, being in round one draft pick for NXT, just, it feels a little stale at this point now, to me. But either way, Knight and Melo had a match, and this came to be because it was originally supposed to be scheduled Apollo Crews versus Angel, but Legado wound up taking out Angel. Legado del Fantasma took out Angel. Knight saw that, wound up talking to Nick Aldis, like, I'll take that spot. That match got called off now. I can fill that spot up. And give me that dummy right there. Yeah. Paraphrasing, mind you. Knight got the win. Afterwards, he cut a promo on Logan Paul because he wasn't there again. He was off doing a Tetris competition. Paul then wound up appearing on the Titantron later on, doing a promo video, throwing shade at Knight. Honestly, I'm calling it now. Save this video. Call me out on it if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain I'm not. We're going to wind up having LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam for the US title, and I'm going to say it right now. I think LA Knight is going to beat Logan Paul for the title. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything from SmackDown. So, with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw in Toledo. It starts out with none other than tall, dark, and angry Drew McIntyre coming out all pissed off, rip roaring, ready to go. Talking about on how at Clash he's gonna be Priest, and he's gonna wipe the floor with him and then walk out with the world title. He was also saying that he had him last week, but of course Judgment Day showed up, numbers game, this, that, and the other. And then Priest, Balor, and JD came out. Priest just looked, bro, listen. You're still doing it. You're doing the blame game. You got mad that I cashed in on you, when all I did was play your game better than you did. And then you get mad over the fact that you got taken out last week because you couldn't keep your eye on the prize. Man, you gotta get over this. You just gotta stop with putting the blame on everyone else and realize your problems are based on what you are doing. And I'm paraphrasing this, but that's pretty much what it was. Then Drew winds up throwing out the gauntlet saying, I fight somebody tonight. I win. No Judgment Day ringside. They're banned from ringside. Priest's like, alright. I win no. Judgment Day, they get to sit ringside when they see me beat you all over this ring and I walk out still World Heavyweight Champion. Alright, Finn, I'll see you tonight. So, then we're going to have Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor with that stipulation. If Drew wins, Judgment Day is barred from ringside. We'll get to that in a moment. But before we do, now we get to our first match of the night. Io Sky going against Lyra Valkyria. Whew. Needed the heart pills for this one. Heart pills, please. Yeah. This was a good one. I really dug this. Had some nice back and forth at the start. EO wound up leading in the break. EO was leading post break as well, and I really dug this. This was a nice callback to the King of the Ring tournament match. EO wound up getting the win. What it was, Lyra was building up a comeback. Had EO up on her shoulders looking like she was going for a Nightwing. EO then grabbed a handful of hair, pulled it back, and then next thing you know, countered and boom! Slammed her down for a crucifix pin, 1, 2, 3. Went to go do a beatdown on Lyra, then wound up getting saved by Katana and Caden. K2 came out, evened up the numbers, and then Damage Control was just like, yep, we're out. Later on, you see Dakota and Kairi confronting EO about, what, you okay? What's going on? And you just see EO, nah! Damage Control needs to change. And then Dakota and Kairi just looking like, oh, fuck. So yeah. Next up, we got trios action. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Braun Strowman going up against JD McDonagh, Dominik, and Carlito, well, they said last week he's basically under probationary period. So he's like a probie at this point. So the heels, they were leading at the start, doing some chicken shit stuff. JD, at first it was JD, and then tag. And then Dom came in, and then once Ray came in, Dom was like, yeah, tag, I'm out, later. And then, yeah. So, but then the action ensued, but the heels, they were leading at the start and into the break. Ray wound up being the punching bag until Dragon Lee came in, cleaned up house some, and then Braun Strowman got the big hot tag pop. Got the hot tag that got the pop, and then Strowman doing a choo-choo train bit, going around, destroying everyone. It was a decent match. It came to an end when Dragon Lee wound up actually, while standing on Strowman's shoulders, jumped down and did a splash onto JD, if memory best serves, I believe it was, for the 1, 2, 3. That was it. Next up, we got Sami Zayn going against Otis, and before the match, Sami, he cut a promo talking about on how at Clash he's defending the Intercontinental Championship against Chad Gable, but he is just sick and tired of seeing the way Gable is treating Alpha Academy. They got no right to go and be around that. They don't deserve to be around that kind of it's just really bad. It's a bad toxic environment, so to say. And then you see Gable come out, emphasizing on how with Alpha Academy. Look at them all. They're all happy. They're good. What? Chad, listen. Turn around, man. Look at them. Tozawa, he's not smiling. Look at Maxxine. She's walking around wearing an ankle brace. Look at Otis. Look at Otis, man. He's got a long look on his face. He's bummed out. What? No, my people are fine. You guys are fine, right? Yeah, we're good. We're good. Help me. Kind of look. So then we get the match, which Otis, he's leading the whole way right up until the end, because Gable is again, yells at him, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. Next thing you know, boom, gets popped with the haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. After Sami won the match, but then Gable came in, proceeded to go do a beatdown. Otis went to go stop him. Gable then, wham, slaps the taste out of his mouth. Do your part. Stick to the plan. And then Otis, looking very begrudgingly, goes and takes him down with that big meaty hook of his for an arm. And then he goes, corners Gable, looks at him like, I could end you right now if I wanted, but I won't. And then just walks away. So next up we got women's tag team action. Zoey Stark and Shayna Baszler going against Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre. Need another round of heart pills. And Jade and Bianca, they're sitting ringside watching us because this coming Saturday at the Clash, they got women's triple threat tag title match. So, but as far as this match went, it was decent. They were isolating. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Right at the start, they're isolating. They took out Shayna, isolating her right at the start, and right out the gate, they were working on her. They took her out, hitting her knee, and then they were focusing on that because Shayna's NXT Underground match. I'm sorry, I'm spacing somewhat because I'm trying to pick. I have the words in my head. It's just that word the mouth filter trying to break through. Sorry about that, folks. But Shayna, she got her knee worked on pretty badly during her NXT Underground match at Battleground. But then they wound up doing that. Shayna, she was isolated out of the match for a bit until she came in, and then when Shayna came in, she just went into straight up Merc mode and destroyed Alba and Isla, and it ended with her choking out Alba. She had Alba choked her out, had her in the Karabuta clutch, and then next thing you know, you see Zoey going over to yell at her, all right, we got it, let go now. So she lets go. Next up, we got Braun Breaker going against Ilja Dragunov, and holy shit, this was a banger. This was. Now Ilja, he was leading at the start. Braun, he wound up getting some space right before the commercial break. And man, this was hard hitting. I will say this, one part that got me was when Ilja, he was throwing the chops onto Braun, hitting him with them. And then as he's doing it and you see Braun, and then just wham, hits Ilja. I don't do that chopping crap. Like that, and then Ilja comes back, throws some more on it, and you could see he's throwing some stank behind them chops, and it's just, ooh, that had to hurt. Just, yeah. But, man, I absolutely love this. I thought it was great. Ilja, he was leading the pace post-commercial break. It was a good match. Honestly, I would highly recommend this match to watch out of Monday Night Raw. And I'm not saying it was a one-card show. I'm just saying, if you put a gun to me and told me to pick one match to watch from the night, I would say this one. But Braun wound up getting the win. What it was, Braun, he was leading the tail end, and then wound up hit him with a spear, and then afterwards went to go do a post-match beatdown. Ricochet wound up saving him, and then you see in the back Ricochet carrying Ilja. All right, come on, buddy, come on, we got this. We're going to the trainers, and then you see Braun take out Ilja, and then beat the piss out of Ricochet, and then power slam him into a windshield on a car, where he gets taken out in an ambulance. Samantha Irvin goes out with him, and it's just, yeah. yeah. Now, this also ties in with the fact that earlier and over the course of the weekend, news broke that apparently Ricochet is choosing not to sign a new contract with WWE. So once his contract expires, he is officially a free agent. And effective at that time, the contract's dead. He could go work anywhere he wants. Now, I know a lot of people are saying they'd like to see him in AEW because him and Ospreay, him and Omega, him and this and this and this and this. Personally, I think Ricochet would do better. Well, personally, first and foremost, I think he should go and work wherever he damn well wants. If he wants to work in AEW, go ahead. If he wants to go and work in Japan, he can. He wants to go and just tour the indies, he can. But personally, just a personal note, I would like to see him in TNA. That's just me personally. But either way. Next up, we got tag title match. Miz and R-Truth defending their titles against the Authors of Pain. And A.O.P, they're leading at the start. They're leading at the start right up into the commercial break. And Miz, he's the punching bag. Truth gets in. Truth, God bless, still goes and kicks it. Does the infamous 5 moves of doom in honor of his childhood hero, John Cena. Now, he didn't get a chance to go and do the 5 knuckle, but he got up to move 4 out of 5. But match came to an end when, as they're going to do that, as Truth and Miz are getting ready to go and wind up for the 5 knuckle, next thing you know, Cross winds up going and pulling out their legs, sweeps the legs. Wind up getting interference from Scarlett, and then you wind up seeing Kofi and Woods coming down and start beating the hell out of Cross. Truth gets the title, cracks it over, Akom's back. Akom's just like, the hell did you just do? You did not just try to do that, dude. Seriously? And Truth just like, here, catch. Throws him the title. And then Miz scoops him up real quick for a roll-up 1, 2, 3. Normally I'm against quick, dirty roll-up wins. However, this one actually made sense. Because they're the bigger guy. Because A.O.P are the bigger guys. So I can't argue it. Now we come to main event of the night. Drew McIntyre going against Finn Balor. Oh man, this was good. This was nice, hard-hitting European stuff. Now, I'm not saying this is like old school British wrestling or old school European wrestling, but this was hard-hitting like the European stuff, I would say. And nice back and forth. Both guys really putting on a banger, man. I dug the absolute loving hell out of this match. Now, much to no surprise, Drew got the win because that stipulation was made. You know, I kind of feel like when those stipulations get made verbally, that it's when those kind of stipulations get made for a match, for one down the road, I feel like that gives it away who's going to win. But that's me. Maybe I just see things a little different. But Drew wound up getting the win, and then the show ends with Priest and McIntyre just having an epic stare down like, I just took out your boy. Come this Saturday, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. He just has that look on his face. Like that kind of look on his face. So, yeah, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, like I said at the top of the show, subscribe to the channel, take a screenshot and show me. If I hit 300 before SummerSlam, I will personally purchase you a Vicious Ranch shirt off whatamaneuver.net and send it out to you. So that's all you got to do. Subscribe to the channel, take a snapshot, let me know at Tim Vicious on my Twitter, and I will pick one random person and they will get a free shirt of their choice. It's that simple. You know? So, yeah. Subscribe to... So, please make sure to remember to subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Go watch some of the other episodes when you can. If you're listening to this on the RSS feed exclusively on Spotify, make sure you check it out there. Make sure you follow the channel. Leave a 5-star review if we feel we've deserved it. Also, folks, please, in the what did you think about this episode section on Spotify, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I cannot improve unless you guys talk to me about it. So, with that said, folks, like I said, look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats right now on the Twitter as well. DSB_IV, Main Event_Net, the Main Event Wrestling Network page, Twitter account, Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, D-Dryer 1986. Thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, folks, check out whatamaneuver.net for some Vicious Rants apparel. As if you're watching the video, you see me wearing a tank. We got tanks, t-shirts, women's tees, unisex tees, toddler onesies, toddler tees and baby onesies, I should say, as well as long sleeves if you need them. I doubt it with this kind of weather, though. But folks, we are coming to that time. It is the end of the show. Much like I always tell you, if you love me, great. If you hate me,
Shut up and sit down.
fuck this.